Hi, I'm John. You're watching Raw Sharpness. Today I'm going to share with you guys some mouse and mouse wheel tricks that I like to use to speed up my workflow, stay organized. Some things that, beginners wish they knew and people coming from other DAWs wish that someone told them about. It's not about like creating, it's more about just being organized and creating a workflow and moving around a little quicker. The first little tip is if I go anywhere, like in here or in here, where is it at? In here, like on one of these or even these, right? And I press in on the mouse wheel, what happens? It's going to open the label box, right? And I can label stuff. Same thing over here. Same thing right here. I can rechange the names. Okay. Super useful. All right. The next thing is I want to put everything, right? I did that already. I created a drum thing. Now I want to group these so it's not, it's not so big and clustered. So I'll click on the left side and hold, and I'll roll down. And that will do all that. But oh shoot, I don't want all those. So let's click shift and hold. We only have to press it once and click on one. Once we do that, it's going to activate. And then we can go back and get rid of those. Okay. Now, anywhere on here, as long as these are green, you're going to right click and hit G. And that's going to group them to the one above, drum track. Okay. If I want to ungroup it, right click and hit N. And that's the same with anything, right? So if I go here, group, and non-group, all right? Super easy. Let's see. Here's another one I like to use. Where's it at? Okay, so if I go here and I press in on the mouse wheel, it's going to open up the plugin picker thing. And the same thing inside the mixer as if I go on any of these slots, as long as there's not something there, going to open up the plugin picker. You want to type your stuff in. I know people from other DAWs are used to that, so it might be helpful. Um, all right, so the next little thing that I like to do, we'll go inside the piano roll. I don't like to take my hand off the mouse ever, so I can hit C pretty easily on my keyboard, but P to get back to pencil is a little harder, right? So what I do is I'll hit C, I'll make the cuts, and then I'll right click and hold and then roll it up or down, whatever. But if you get back to pencil, so C, right click and roll. If you look up here, that's how you control those parameters. So you just right click and roll between. You can, sometimes people like to use this one and move shit, but yeah, that's how you do that. And then inside the piano roll, um, same thing. Get to all those parameters. Okay, so if I have something and I don't want it, and I want to, oh, see, like right there. I was on something I didn't want to be, and then I want to go to cut. I can just cut, cut, cut. Want to get rid of it. Oop. I want to highlight all that, and I don't want to hit Control A. Do that. Delete. All right, so that's that. All right, so this is probably the most useful thing inside the piano roll is this tip right here. So if I press in, I get the little hand. If I press in on the mouse wheel, I get the little hand. If I press in on the little thing when the pencil's showing, I get the little mute or the delete thing. So right click after you get the little hand, and it'll open this little menu. Now these little bubbles right here, if I right click on them, they're gonna this box will stay open, right? But if I go like that, it doesn't. So pressing on the mouse wheel, right click, and then right click on these to get to there. But this is where it's useful is when you're doing scale highlighting. Let's say you're picking a scale and you don't know the notes or anything like that, you can just right click on them and it will do it. Kind of messed up there, but okay, it does that too. Because as soon as I do that, it's gone and it goes away. And that's super annoying. Say you got some scripts, you want to use scripts, whatever, you can do that. But I just find that that's super useful in here. Oh, another one that I like to use is if you just go here and press in on the mouse wheel, you can move the box, which is this little thing right here. And that's very useful as well too. But yeah. That's it, really. Those are like the most useful tips and things that I know they seem kind of like whatever, but they speed things up tremendously. Hopefully, this is useful to you guys and you can make use of it. Cheers.